was pretty famous on the AT. But they got bought by new people and are being renovated, so they are closed. Slow start today. Ate a huge breakfast and then just crashed and took a nap. And now I walked by an ice cream place, so I got a milkshake, and they sell barbecue sandwiches for some reason, so got that as well. Crossing over the Susquehanna River. It's a pretty long bridge. Pretty rocky this whole way. Water is a little more scarce in this section, so I actually have to go off trail to find it. What a hard life. I'm actually setting up my tent today. That is the first time in a really long time. Because the shelters in this area are just spread out really far. So the next shelter is in like 10 or 12 miles. And I just want to go to bed. Slept pretty well last night. Yeah, a novelty to sleep in a tent. I actually prefer to sleep in the tent. It feels cleaner than shelters, and I'm, more insulated from mice and bugs and everything else. It just takes more time and effort to set up. So when there are shelters, I like to sleep in those. But it rained a little bit this morning, and that's another reason I will usually sleep in a shelter. Because I just didn't want to pack up in the rain, especially when, it's intermittent. So just waited the rain out and then packed up. But if you're in a shelter, it can be raining. You can still pack all your stuff up, put on your rain gear, and go hiking. Today should be another fairly easy day. Elevation profile isn't that bad at all. There's just rocks. Oh, for those that might be unfamiliar, Pennsylvania, its reputation is for rocks. So even though this is rocky, you can just choose where to step. It's not a big deal. This is Roush Creek. It's hail now. Hail and freezing rain. Seems like every other day out here it's like this. Kind of a spooky day to visit a cemetery. So this area, it's like a beaver dam, and people said you might have to get in the water. Hopefully not. Gross. I don't want to get in the water here. Trekking poles really come in handy times like this. Ugh. Think dry thoughts. Crossing over Swatara Creek. Not sure if I pronounced that right. Lickdale is that way. 2.5 miles. There's a sign that said there was food and food there, but that's too far. Going under interstates. Always amazes me that humans can build these things. Yay, rocks. Rocks, rocks, rocks. I think this is the beginning of where it starts to get bad. Yeah, these aren't that bad. This is the 501 shelter. It's named that because it is off of this road 501. But it's quite nice. It's got 12 bunks inside. Let's see. It's a little library if you want to add some weight to your pack. This is actually a solar shower. Leaving the 501 shelter. The rocks are definitely getting worse. It's just a bunch of small, sharp, pointy rocks everywhere. And you gotta be very aware of where you step. But it's not as bad as I remember it being. Probably helps a lot that my pack is just a lot lighter. And I've got more experience in how to walk. Today, we get to Port Clinton at the end of the day and continue on. I gotta pay attention when I'm walking on these rocks. Nice little spot for a snack break. Got some awesome trail magic from Mary Beth, who I met around the NOC in Franklin, North Carolina, when I hiked in 2016. So she lives in the area. Dropped by with Chinese food, which was amazing. And now I am crossing this river, Port Clinton, right here to my left. And I'm shivering because, man, it's cold today. I'm just sitting down for a little bit to eat. It got me cold. Let's see, yeah, gonna climb up tonight, do another like 10 miles so that I can get to Palmerton tomorrow, so might be a bit of a long night. But it's really cool on Thruhikes how everyone just wants to help you out and people are really excited for what you're doing, and it a lot of people will say kind of restores their faith in humanity, and it's true. You know, you hitchhike and just have all this kindness from strangers and realize everyone, you know, just lots of good people around, which you wouldn't interact with when you're just driving in your car or doing your day-to-day stuff. But being on foot forces you to accept more help from people, and that in turn kind of shows you that people are good and kind and really want to help out. This is Port Clinton, pretty tiny little town. Sun is setting over Port Clinton. This is Pulpit Rock. Just want to get to camp, and there's all these damn rocks in the way. So the Pinnacles behind me. Started going out there, but it's really not much to see. It's just a bunch of farmland and highways and towns. The same as everything else you see walking. I guess in the summertime it would be a little better view because you're not going to be able to see everything through the trees in the summers. I camped last night about 0.3 miles before. I actually set up my tent again. The shelters just haven't been lining up mileage wise for me, and I think they must be spaced a little further apart because it's either too short or too far away from where I want to stop at night. Today hopefully will be an easy day, easy-ish. The only challenge will be more rocks. The further north you get into Pennsylvania, the rockier it gets, and sometimes that will slow you down just as much or more as a bunch of elevation gain and loss. It's not always this rocky. There's good stretches where it's not. So if you watch my videos, you probably think the whole state is like this. It's not. I'm just showing you the interesting sections, because showing a bunch of flat, smooth trail isn't that interesting. Dan's pulpit. I don't know why it's like foggy out today. Sometimes. So you follow the blazes here through there and then on down. These smaller rocks are probably the most annoying. You just have to be very mindful where you step. It's easy to have them stab you in the foot or turn an ankle. This side trail for balanced rock. I don't think I need to hike over more rocks to see another rock. Endless fields of rocks. It's a piped spring right here. Good spot to take a break, eat some lunch, and then continue on through all the rocks. That would be a nice campsite. Big rocks and small rocks in every direction. Rock does this. Almost fell. Like rock surfing out here. Yeah, why make the trail go through the nice flat area down there when you could make the trail climb over these rocks?
How's it going? I'm Matt. I'm Henry. We're both involved at the Lehigh University Outing Club. We do all kinds of trips outdoors, so we like share the outdoors with everybody in the school. And we came out here to meet with Quadzilla because we've been following for a while. It seems like a super cool guy, does a lot of great content, so just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, thanks to him for letting us talk with him for a little bit, hike with him for a bit.
Honestly, a through hike at some point would be super cool. Love to hike abroad as well, and just see as much of the outdoors as I can.
Yeah, same kind of thing. I want to do a through hike. One of the western ones, been around the east a bunch. Try and get into the Alps at some point over in Europe. That'd be some sick hiking to do, I think. We're running a joint canoeing and backpack
that'll be fun. Next fall we're running in the Pine Barrens. He's running a canoe trip, I'm running a backpacking trip in the same place, so we'll kind of meet up, the 2 separate trips. So I think it's kind of cool.
It'll be a ton of fun.
This is a shelter for hobbits. Weird, I've never seen this before. They've covered all these rocks in net and then covered it in mulch. So I guess we're trying to like plant stuff up here. This might be the straightest trail ever is. The sun's staying up a little bit longer. It's 7:45. Probably be another 10 minutes before, 15 or 20 before it gets full dark. Climbing out of Palmerton, out of Lehigh Gap. Stayed with the trail angel last night, Squeaky, and her husband Dave. Super, super nice people. She fed me pork and mashed potatoes and then a steak. And we just had really great conversation. Pretty late start today. It rained all night and this morning, and I had my tent set up in their yard. So I really didn't want to pack up that tent when it was raining, so I just slept in and then ate a huge breakfast at the diner. Excuse me, I'm still burping it up. And then resupplied. I'm eating all my heavy foods right now. I got a pear, eat another pear right now. And this climb is actually pretty steep. It's 800 feet in 1 mile, which is kind of like the grades you get in New Hampshire. Yep, here's where the fun starts. Pretty vertical. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to come up here when it was raining. These rocks are still slick, but if it was actively raining, I don't want to go too far up because I have to come back down to get my camera. And it just goes on like that. Just sliding. Unfortunate people need to spray paint everything. Moving pretty slow today. The terrain is a pain. Just so many big rocks you gotta maneuver through. And then I'm also feeling just a bit tired. My pack is pretty heavy. I've got a bunch of heavy town food, sandwiches and donuts. So all that combined, just making pretty slow progress. That's okay. Just gonna keep going. Have a cheesesteak. Although I'm not sure why there's marinara sauce on a cheesesteak. That's new to me. I also have a bag of cream-filled donuts and cookies. They were both on clearance at the grocery store. I've been moving a lot better these last, couple of hours. The rocks have just been smaller, and so you can just step around most of the pain in the butt stuff. It's starting to sprinkle, and I think I'm just going to stop at the next shelter, which is in about 3 miles. That'll put me there a little bit after it gets dark, because the shelter after that is still like 15, 16 miles. And I want to get into a shelter because it's supposed to rain a lot tonight. 1 to 2 inches tonight into tomorrow, and that way I won't have to pack up in the rain, and that'll just be much more convenient. I need to actually edit video. I haven't done that for a while, so it'll be a good time to do that, and avoid the rain, hopefully.